based on, you know, more of an outlook that, like, because you served in World War II, like that kind of outlook where people, like the World War II generation, were thinking about the future, the baby boomers, the invested with all the dam projects, massive. At the time, the dams that FDR built were the biggest structures that had ever been built in history. So it seems that the real problem that exists is this mentality of economics as free trade, where, you know, the most profit you can get out of something is the most important thing, as opposed to an investment into like the long term, like you're saying, right?
Well, yeah, and you're right. I think this whole concept of the difference between expenditures and investments applies to a lot more than just engineering projects. And let me just give you an example from my own experience. I've been privileged to serve on the board of Costco over the last few years. And they're in sharp competition. They're direct competition with Sam's Club, which is a subsidiary of Walmart. The Wall Street is so focused on the next quarter and you know what you do immediately that they have gone way off the. If you were to kind of have an area starting from an extreme look at just current expenditure clear over to long-term investment, Wall Street would be clear over here on the short-term. What do you do for me today? And you better show the result. They write the analytical reports frequently, and one that just infuriated me when I saw it was written about Costco. And that Wall Street analyst said the problem with Costco is that they are paying too much attention to customers and employees and not enough to shareholders. What a dumb statement that was. Because, let me just give you a couple of quick figures. Sure, Costco and the great leadership they have there, and the CEO and the chairman of the board are, and the whole team, you know, they pay their people well. They have health care for everybody, including the part-time employees, not just the full-time employees. Their average wage is $16 or $17 an hour compared to about 11 at Sam's Club and Walmart. So sure, the direct expenditure, then you'd say, well, it's got to be way bigger, so you can't make as much profit. And that's nonsense, because in the first year of employment, the turnover rate at Costco is about 16%, and from the second year on, it's virtually nil. At Walmart, it's 80% the first year. How are you going to get any kind of productivity out of employees if you're turning over almost 100% employees every year? So sure, you can pay them a little bit, but you're not getting anything out of them. So it's a clear difference in a different arena than engineering of the difference between investment and expenditure. And the end result, of course, is that Costco is killing Sam's Club in every arena where they're up against one another. They just have better quality merchandise, better service, and they're doing very, very well. So, in spite of the analysts in Wall Street, investment still makes a difference. And I think you're right. We've gotten away from that too often.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think is like unless that's addressed as an issue, like taken out, like as far as like the economics, because that's our economic cost in free trade. Yeah. Unless it seems like that's such a huge obstacle that unless you address that, you're like a lot of times it just seems like wasting time. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think we can. You know, the one thing about trade between nations is probably a pretty good thing if you do it right, because the more people trade with one another, the less likely they are to go to war with one another, because they have an investment in each other's well-being. But you better do it right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned this, like there being a shortage of engineers, I guess, in politics.
Mm-hmm.
First, I guess I don't know. Has there been any improvement in that as time goes on? But
decision-making of politics, very few. Getting involved in, well, first on the VIDA, you bet I'm involved in it. I've written some op-ed pieces which have appeared. I've called and talked to the governor and her staff, and doing everything, and in contact with several of the legislative leadership, just trying to do whatever I can to convince them that they ought to really pay attention. I've been in contact with the mayor, so yeah, I've been deeply involved in that and intend to be as strong as I can, just like it was on the Commons. I just hope the end result's better. But getting involved, it's extraordinary, but it's true that getting involved in politics, but getting involved on issues of whatever kind, is a whole lot easier than you might think. It just requires volunteering. Get at something you're really interested in. The Commons, we were involved for several years, and it was a fascinating experience, even though we lost. But it was totally volunteer. Just people who had gotten interested and decided that was something they wanted to work on. They volunteered, and everybody who volunteered, we got deeply into everything from building. It was a pretty healthy job of volunteering, because everybody then got involved in trying to figure out just what the Commons should be and what were the elements of it. And they got into all of the building of